Ties Between Dimensions Chapter 3. You've got a home and a family.
Come on, time to go.
Sonic groaned, trying to keep his eyes shut as he fought with the sunlight that was beating down upon him, in addition to Tom's voice as he urged him to get up.
5 more minutes, Tails!
He said sleepily.
That's a new game. Almost as weird as Donut Lord.
Tom replied. Sonic's eyes slowly opened as he finally saw the owner of the voice, Tom Wachowski.
Donut Lord! Who calls you that?
Tom chuckled.
As Sonic did before he started calling us Mom and Dad.
Sonic's chest tightened at that remark, causing Tom to be concerned.
Okay, bud.
The blue blur quickly regained his composure before tears streamed from his eyes like a river.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Well, come on then. Betty's making breakfast.
Eager to help, Sonic sat up on the edge of the bed.
Does she need any help?
Tom smiled. He really did remind him of their blue devil.
I'm sure she would appreciate it, but do you think you're okay, Chili? With your leg and all?
Sonic nodded as he grabbed his crutches.
Okay then. Let's get going.
The teen got up and began hobbling over to the kitchen. As soon as he entered, he saw Maddie quick at work preparing to make eggs and pancakes, with Wachowski close by, watching.
Need some help?
Sonic asked. Maddie and Wachowski looked over at the injured hedgehog.
Sure, Sonic.
Maddie replied before turning to her Sonic.
If that's okay with you, bud.
Sure, the more the merrier. We might even get done faster with 2 Sonics in the kitchen.
He exclaimed. She chuckled at her son's enthusiasm.
Well, Big Sonic, help with the pancakes. Sonic, beat the eggs.
The 2 Sonics did as they were instructed, each with their own speed and very beside grace. Once each dish was finished at supersonic speeds, the 2 hedges proudly displayed their work. They cheered and Maddie placed her hand on her heart as she stopped herself from cooing at them. The boys were just too adorable for their own good. In a moment, Wachowski quickly set the table as Sonic hobbled over to his seat, and the rest of the family soon sat down for breakfast.
Maddie, have you checked your Atlante?
Tom asked. Maddie pursed her lips and smirked, as if she didn't know what Tom was talking about.
No, not yet. Maybe I'll check at work.
Maddie chimed in with a smirk. Both Sonics stared back in confusion. Tom shrugged.
Tell me when you did. Could be something really important.
He stood up from the table.
Come on, buddy, ready to head to the station.
Wachowski's tail wagged as he smiled with excitement.
You bet I am.
He exclaimed. Tom chuckled as the boy dashed to his side.
Of Sonic, how about you, little Danny? Pretend to be Sonic's older brother or something.
So, I gotta go by Maris again.
Afraid so, bud. The other option would be to pass you off as our Sonic, but you're a bit too tall.
Fine, but I still hate the name.
He got up from the table and limped toward the door.
Let's get going.
Maddie sighed and shook her head.
Okay. Let me grab my stuff, Maris.
Maddie said, smirking. Sonic turned red, nearly foaming.
Ah,
Maddie was at her workstation, examining the results from the test she had run on Sonic.
Seems everything's healing correctly, and rather quickly too, might I add.
everything about me is fast. Tails said I could even build things faster than him if I wanted to, just because of who I am and how I work.
Tails, is that one of your friends from your world?
Sonic nodded.
That's very cool, bud. Tell me more.
The team lit up, eager to tell Maddie about his world.
Well, Tails is this two-tailed fucked kid who kinda looks up to me. I met him when he was fixing my plane.
You have a plane.
Maddie raised an eyebrow. Sonic nodded.
Yeah, it's a plane called the Tornado. I never learned how to fly it though, so until I met Tails, it kinda just sat there on the island. Can't remember how I got it though, but I've had it for as long as I can remember. When I was small, I used to pretend to fly it though.
Maddie giggled at the image of a toddler Sonic in a large biplane.
Anyone else?
There's this hot-headed echidna named Knuckles. Different echidnas from the ones that were. I mean, my little brother Matt. He guards this large gem known as the Master Emerald, which is essentially the big Kahana, the Chaos Emeralds.
Maddie listened as she glanced over her appointment schedule.
I still don't quite understand how these Chaos Emeralds work, but continue.
Sonic nodded and then blushed a bit before introducing the next person.
Then there's Rose. She's a pink hedgehog who kinda appointed herself as my girlfriend. It's kinda annoying, but the truth is,
Sonic was interrupted by a nurse knocking on Maddie's door.
Come in.
Maddie beckoned. The nurse entered the room, smiling at Sonic as she turned her attention to Maddie.
Dr. Bukowski, teacher Trovakalaka Python is here. They're in exam room 24.
she said. Maddie stood up from her desk.
Thank you.
She turned to Sonic.
Stay here, bud. You can watch TV or play some games on the other computer since my assistant isn't in today.
Got it, Maddie. Oh, by the way, what was that email you and Tom were talking about?
They approved Sonic's adoption into our family, so we're celebrating.
She walked out the door.
His adoption.
Sonic thought. His chest tightened as he fought back the tears. Sonic then walked with difficulty toward the other computer and sat down in front of it. He then moved the mouse and clicked on the internet browser. A familiar icon that looked similar to another video site on his world was on the welcome screen. He clicked on the icon and moused over to the search bar.
Let's see. What was the name of that song again? Oh, yeah?
Sonic quickly typed "Everybody Knows My Name" into the search bar, and he clicked on the first result. The hedgehog sat back and listened to the song. For the most part, he was successful in keeping his emotions contained. However, a single tear escaped as he listened to the chorus. That chorus impacted him the most. Everything else about fame, fortune, letters of success, and Lady Luck were interesting, but that chorus was like it was written exactly for him. It took every ounce of strength within him not to flood this room with his tears. He settled for softly singing along whenever the chorus came around. Maddie swung the door open as the song was ending. She glanced over the boy's shoulder.
Never knew you were a Four Seasons fan.
Maddie said. Sonic nearly jumped out of his seat.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to scare you.
I wasn't scared, just startled.
Sonic replied. He tried his best to hide the fact that he had been close to crying, but a soft sniffle escaped his lips.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Maddie had a concerned look on her face.
You sure?
Sonic nodded.
Okay, well, if you want to talk about anything, I'm here.
Thanks, but I'm good.
Sonic gave her a thumbs up. Maddie sighed. She knew he was anything but okay.
Don't pressure him. Let him come to you.
She thought.
Well, I only have a few more appointments for the day, but they hopefully won't take too long. This last one only took a couple minutes.
Okay, got it.
Once Maddie and Sonic were home, both quickly got to work as they began decorating the living room and the kitchen, with Sonic managing to use one of his crutches to reach the door frame and pin the banners to them. A knock was heard at the door.
Must be one of Sonic's friends. I'll get it. Don't go trying to steal a little bit of the icing now.
Immediately Sonic placed a hand on his heart.
I would never.
He said, looking properly scandalized. Maddie chuckled and walked toward the door, opening it when she got close enough. She was greeted by a middle-aged woman with long red hair accompanied by a child with red hair and freckles.
Martha, Fred, come in.
Maddie gestured for them to come in.
Thanks, Maddie. Where should we put the gifts?
Oh, by the TV should be fine. Thanks again for coming.
Fred gave Maddie a wide grin.
You kidding? I wouldn't miss Sonic's adoption party for anything. He's the best.
Maddie smiled as she led the first two guests into the house.
You were pretty cool too, kiddo. Not everyone can catch one of Sonic's fastballs.
I don't catch him every time. Just sometimes. Oh, it is pretty often.
So, did you just get the approval today?
Martha asked. Maddie shook her head.
We've known for a week now, but we kinda wanted to surprise him. Good thing Maris, Sonic's big brother, came by to visit us. Provided the perfect distraction.
Guess you should adopt him too.
Maddie glanced over at Maris and she smiled.
Yes, I should start filing the paperwork now.
Upon hearing his fake name and the word adoption, Sonic's ears perked up and his chest tightened.
Don't pray. You must not pray.
Sonic thought. Maddie looked over at the blue teenage hedgehog.
Are you okay?
Huh. Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
You sure? You can talk to me, you know.
Thanks, but I'm fine.
He gave her a thumbs up. Other people soon arrived to the party, including Rachel, Maddie's sister, Jojo, Maddie's niece, and Wade Whipple, one of Tom's best deputies.
I can't wait to see my little nephew's happy face. Even if he is a blue alien, Yo-Yo's more excited than me. She's been talking non-stop.
Jojo ran around the room, imitating her cousin.
Gotta go fast.
She exclaimed. The girl then ran into Maris and looked at this new creature.
Oh, we were supposed to surprise you, but you're already here.
The hedgehog chuckled.
Wrong hedgehog? Name's Maris. I'm Sonic's older brother.
Sonic lied, pointing to himself.
I'm Jojo.
She replied, extending a hand. The older Sonic, or Maris, shook the girl's hand.
I didn't know there were more hedgehogs like Sonic.
Rachel looked over at Maris, raising an eyebrow.
Sonic has an older brother. How many more alien woodland critters you gonna take in? You taking an alien town as your little boy next?
She joked. Maddie chuckled.
Maybe they just seem to show up around us.
I might have seen another hedgehog on patrol one day. Or was it something else? Whatever it was kinda creepy. What did it look like?
Maris asked. Wade turned to him and gasped.
You see? I'm not Sonic, just his older brother.
He was starting to wonder how long he could keep this act up.
Kinda figured you were an out blue devil. Your arms are naked. And not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, it looked kinda orange. I didn't get a good look at it. Tails!
Maris thought.
Interesting.
Busting through the door was a disheveled older gentleman, Crazy Carl.
Am I late?
His eyes then shifted to Maris.
Oh, hey big blue devil.
Hey, Carl. No, you are not late.
She spied Tom's police car pulling into the driveway.
In fact, you were right on time. Everyone hide.
All the guests hid behind various pieces of furniture, some behind the couch and some in the kitchen. Sonic was among the ones who hid in the kitchen, but instead of simply hiding behind the counter, he hid underneath the sink. His chest tight as he tried his best not to cry. He was trying to be happy for Wachowski, but the teen was overcome with feelings of jealousy. Why couldn't he get parents? Why was he cursed to just live alone? Wachowski and Tom were walking toward the door. The small hedge was chatting away.
I can't believe I helped you stop a robbery today. That was so cool.
Wachowski exclaimed. Tom smirked.
Just don't think you can do it without me, but this isn't comic book.
Oh, what a best skill.
Wachowski stuck his tongue out at Tom. The two of them reached the door, and Tom opened it. Wachowski was confused.
Why are the lights out?
The lights then turned on.
Welcome to the family, Sonic.
Oh, what?
He then noticed the banner hung from the ceiling that read I dubbed thee Sonic Wachowski. Tom placed a hand on the boy's shoulder.
The approved adoption will come to the family, Sonic.
For real? Does that mean?
Maddie walked over to them holding the certificate.
Yep, you were officially a Wachowska.
Mom? Dad?
He was picked up by Tom as he hugged both him and Maddie.
This is going into my scrapbook.
Rachel squealed as she took a picture of the moment with her phone. Wachowski smiled up at his new parents, then at the guests. There was Wade, Aunt Rachel, Jojo, Crazy Carl, and even Fred from the baseball team. However, there was one person of note missing.
Where's Big Bro?
Wachowski asked, referring to his older counterpart.
Oh, you mean Maurice? Was with me in the kitchen. Wonder why he didn't come up. Maybe we should have helped him up.
Fred replied.
I'll go check on him. Maybe he lost his balance in the dark.
The festivities resumed as Wachowski hugged Tom once again before dashing to the floor to greet his family and friends. Maddie reached the kitchen, but Sonic was nowhere to be found.
Maurice, buddy.
Through the noise of the party, she could hear the sound of sniffling coming from underneath the sink. Maddie's heart broke as she heard this, realizing that she had been right to suspect that something was up. Carefully, she opened the cupboard door to reveal the sobbing teen singing a mournful tune quietly to himself.
You've got a homie and a family. You've got much more than me. Much more than me.